Good morning, student. Today we'll discuss about the another type of population interaction, and it is known as the commensalism. Okay, so commensalism. In commensalism, in this one species get benefit and the other species is not having any kind of effect of it. Okay, in commensalism, we can say that it is a relationship between individuals of two species in which one is benefited and other is almost unaffected, or we can say neither affected nor harmed. So that's why I'm using one indicator here, 0. So one species is getting benefited and other is not having any kind of harm. So what are the commensals benefits? Basically, the commensal usually get food from its host. Okay, a commensal may get shelter also, ride also, or some amount of food also. Okay, so like this one example I am giving you, ant amoeba coli lives in our commensalism relationship in a human large intestine and getting food, shelter and right, but humans are not having any kind of effect of it. Okay, so that is known as the commensalism. One more interesting example I'll tell you here on your screen. Also you can see that many barnacles and whale. Barnacles are they live attached to balanus. Also we can use one term, they attach to the whale's body. Okay, so for riding or for the food, whatever the whale, it, they get a ride with whale, but whales are not having any kind of effect of it, because whale is a, you all know, whales are already a huge animals. So that time barnacles are very minute in front of whales, so whales are not having any kind of effect of it, but barnacles get right as well as food stuffs and new exploring areas if they ride over whale. Okay, now the second example you can see here, in between of egret and the grazing cattle. Okay, they are the egret and the grazing cattle. What happened in this is another classical example of commensalism. uh, Basically it present in a farmland areas, rural areas. The egret always close to the cattle. Which type of cattle? Who show grazing. At the time of grazing they stare up uh, over it, while the grazing time these big animals or grazing cattle, they just stir up all, they just dig off for the soil, and at the time small insects or small caterpillars fall on, or they catch, the egret are able to find and catch them very easily. So egret getting food, but cattle are not having any kind of benefit or harm by this process. Okay, next example we can see about sea anemone and the clownfish. Okay, this clownfish lives between the stinging tentacles of sea anemone. You know very well, in sea anemone, stinging tentacles in between of it they live. Okay, so when the when the predator, basically they do this practice for the protection from predator. So they the sea anemone does not appear to derive any kind of benefiting by hosting the clownfish. So we can say that sea anemone are not getting any kind of benefit, but clownfish protect themselves from the predators. So this is another classical example of commensalism. Next is about the fish and sea urchin, birds and trees, and one example related with plants, that is of epiphytes. Epi means up, फाइट, ऐसे प्लांट जो दूसरे प्लांट के ऊपर ग्रो करते हैं. Okay, they are known as the epiphyte. Certain small green independent plants such as algae, ferns, orchid. Basically orchid variety is only epiphyte. Okay, so they grow on a large plant. They are present in tropical rainforest. In tropical rainforest big plants are there, so they are the very small plants and they can grow over them. So by this epiphytes are able to grow themselves independently. Okay, because they perform photosynthesis, they are not depending on the host plant, only the shelter or space they live on these big trees. I hope commensalism is clear. Okay, so if you have any question regarding with commensalism, please send me. Thank you, children.